Hello and welcome to my channel Fleece and Fibre Crafts. Here I hope to share all things fleece and fibre, especially painting with wool. I hope you enjoy. If you do, hit the subscribe button. Thank you. In today's tutorial I will be demonstrating how to wet felt a base fabric for a needle felt project. To wet felt your own base fabric you will need just a few inexpensive supplies, some of which you may already have. You will need your choice of fibre in whatever colour palette you prefer. Merino is one of the best fibres used in wet felting, but as you'll see in this video, I start off by using carded fibre as my base layer, simply to use what I have in my fibre stash. I also only use coloured fibre from a blended bat as my top layer, but you can use coloured fibre for all the layers depending on your project. As well as a quantity of fibre, you will also need warm water and soap. I use olive soap, but dishwashing liquid also works well. An old towel, an old piece of net, such as a net curtain, bubble wrap, a bamboo mat and a rolling pin. Now, let's get started. To start, lay down an old towel with the bamboo mat and length of bubble wrap on top, bubble side up. Make sure the bubble wrap is twice as large as the piece of felt to be made, as it will be folded over to sandwich the felt as you work. Gently pull wisps of fleece and lay onto the bubble wrap in a vertical direction, working across in a nice even row. I'm working with carded fibre here rather than merino roving, so it's a little clumpier rather than the smooth wisps of merino. But it's using what I have to hand, and as it's the base layer for this project, it doesn't really matter too much. The second and consecutive rows should overlap the first by a few centimetres to ensure an even layer and avoid gaps. You'll see in this video that I have to plug a few gaps just because of the texture of the carded fibre. The second layer of fibre is laid down at right angles to the first layer, again overlapping as you lay out the fibre. Make sure the whole first layer is covered with no gaps or thin areas. I now lay down a third layer in the same direction as the first, before adding my final layer of coloured fibre. You can just lay 3 layers using the third layer as your decorated layer, but to avoid sparse areas and allow for sufficient thickness, I used 4 layers in total. This final decorative or coloured layer uses merino fibre from an art bat, which is several coloured fibres blended together. This gives a beautiful mix which works perfectly for this project, as I hope to use it as a background for a sheep portrait. Again, the fibres are laid at right angles to the previous layer and overlapped. Sprinkle warm soapy water over the fleece, taking care not to saturate it completely, as this will prevent the fibres from locking together. Here I use the netting to begin the wet felting process, but you could just use the bubble wrap in place of the netting. Place the net on top and dampen slightly, pressing down gently and then using light circular motions, gently rub over the net. This begins the felting process, whereby the fibres start to lock together. Continue rubbing for about 10 minutes or so and carefully peel back the net or bubble wrap to check how the fibres are felting together. Because I've an extra layer, I flip the piece over and repeat the process to ensure all the fibres are felting together, including the base layer.
With the felt sandwiched between the bubble wrap, continue rubbing and then roll, rotating the sandwich by 90 degrees every minute or so. Once the fibres are felted, remove the felt from the bubble wrap sandwich and place onto the bamboo mat. Roll the felt up inside the bamboo mat and continue rolling. It is labour intensive but an important part of the process. Continue to rotate the fabric as you roll and flip over to repeat. You will notice the felt piece begin to shrink. Regularly check the fulling of the felt. To do this, try to pinch the fibres between your finger and thumb. If your piece is fully felted, the fibres will not lift or come away from the fabric. Stop rolling when you're happy that the felt fabric is dense and firm enough for your project. To finish my felt piece, I throw it down onto the table. This continues the fulling process to firm up the felt fabric. Finally, rinse in a vinegar solution and cool water to remove the soap. Roll flat and leave to dry completely. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you've any questions, please comment below. Also, if you'd like to see the next part of this project, where I'll be demonstrating how I paint with wool, then don't forget to like and subscribe. To follow along my Fleece and Fibre journey, scan the QR code or find me on social media at Fleece and Fibre Crafts. Thank you.